I was born and raised in an Amish home, and I have 8 siblings, 6 brothers and 2 sisters. Of course, growing up in an Amish home, I only have 8 years of formal education. Grew up on a farm, and my life's vocation was farming till 1997. My wife and I were married in 1945, and we have 7 children, all living, 19 grandchildren, 24 great-grandchildren. So I've had a good life. Lost my wife 2.5 years ago, and we were married 69 years and 6 days. I'm counting the 6 days as well. Before I went to school, we had an English family also that was the children attending the school where I went to school. And there was a time when I felt so sorry for those English children. I'm quoting the term Amish use. When somebody's not Amish, they will use the term English. So I attended school with these English children, and I felt so sorry for them that they weren't Amish. But as time went on, Ann and I had been married for several years, and it seemed like it wasn't for us anymore. And so we transferred our membership into the Mennonite Church. Still have a lot of respect for the Amish, especially in this community. I have seen a lot of changes in this Amish community from the time that I was born, and some of the things that they have tolerated now that they didn't tolerate when I was a boy growing up. When I was growing up, everything had to be done the hard way. Like digging the holes for fence posts had to be done by hand. The waste from livestock had to be loaded by hand. Hay was put up by hand. Thrashing for the oats and wheat harvest had to be done by hand, and loaded up then when it was time to dry enough to do that, loaded up by hand, thrown in the threshing machine by hand. Everything was done by hand. Well, when I was growing up, I stated earlier that 95% of the Amish population was in full-time farming. Today, there's less than 25% full-time farmers. Those that have their farms yet may rent a farm out or have it custom farmed, and they work and since we have all these shops going up, the Amish standard of living has gone up. One thing that I appreciate so very much in this community, the people in Arthur, the English people, quote unquote, mingle a lot more than they did when I was growing up. The only time we neighbored at all was with the one next door. Now then, you go to the coffee shop, semi-retired Amish will be sitting at a coffee table with English, and I like to see that.
The 200 acres encompasses the Homestead Bakery, the Homestead Seeds, and probably everyone's maybe most recognizable, the Great Pumpkin Patch. But I love pumpkins. I love opening the farm to visitors. One of our main goals are we want to provide a safe place where people can come with their families and enjoy an experience. And the experience is kind of up to them. You know, we have almost 400 varieties of pumpkin squash and gourds that we grow. So we are legitimately the most diverse pumpkin patch in the world. We have varieties from all over the world. 6 of 7 continents are represented. Of course, Antarctica has no cucurbits on that continent, but cucurbits are a fancy name for pumpkin squash and gourds. And what we do is we specialize in growing all kinds of varieties of cucurbits. Back in the 90s, people were looking to diversify or get out of big farming or, lose the farm. Of course, that was not an option. I'm 5th generation farmer on this land. My kids are 6th generation. We beat the Amish by 6 years, actually. We were here in 1859 and the Amish came in 1865. So it's something that, runs through my bones. People come out to the country and they see a pumpkin and that's recognizable, but then, my gosh, the experience is fill in the blank. It might be putting that grandchild into one of our 370 radio flyer wagons that we've painted green and just taking your kid for a stroll. It might be seeing the 3 little pigs and what they do. It might be finding the largest pumpkin in our 63 acres of pumpkin patch. It might be opening your eyes to the Japanese squash and the Australian squash and the Brazilian squash, or getting a taste at the Taste of the Patch where we have our squash tasting. We love having people come on our farm. Last year we had 62,000 people come in 7 weeks. So mid-September to October 31st, we'll run hundreds of people and thousands of people a day on the weekends through our place. So now we have a made from scratch bakery that's all Amish baked goods. We have a homestead seeds, which is rare and unusual cucurbits that I offer to the everyday vegetable gardener. These people that are passionate about squash, which there's a lot of crazy cucurbit fanatics out there, which is great. There's bumpy squash, there's long squash, there's green, there's red, there's yellow, there's orange, there's white, there's blue, all the colors of the rainbow, A to Z, and we showcase the diversity of the pumpkin family in a way that no one else does. So we're trying to break down those barriers if someone wants to go that far. If they just want to come here and buy an orange pumpkin, have at it. I got tens of thousands of those, all right? But if they really want to experience, a one-of-a-kind squash in a one-of-a-kind manner, then this is where you can get that experience. Yeah, it's so funny when visitors come and, they're driving out into the countryside. We're 2 miles south of Arthur, but very much a part of the community. They drive by the buggies and it's such a picturesque scene with the barns and the clip-clop of the, they almost think like we've staged it. And what's so unique is that this is our everyday life. This is what our neighborhood is made up out of. And we chose, 5 generations ago, our family chose to be right here. And I've traveled all over the world with my botanical training, and I've always known I wanted to come right here.
From what we can find, the Women's Club started in the early 1900s. They were very active, evidently. I had a friend who was one of the original members, what was the Arthur Junior Women's Club. And she said, they did lots of things. They did community projects. We've always had like the fair stand. And for a long time, they had a food stand, and the fair or a community event was held at the grade school. But the hitch rack for the town was on the north side of the grade school, and of course with animals you have flies. And these group of women got together and decided that it needed to be moved. So they moved it from the north side of the grade school to where it is now up in the northern part of town. But anyway, the Junior Women's Club were at the grade school till the Moultrie Douglas Fair got started. And then they moved the food stand down there, and has always had a food stand down there that serves food. We were always in a tent, and it always rains during the fair sometime, so you had mud for the floors. It was hard to get around. And then one of our projects that time was to build a new building, and with the help of several people and all the husbands, they built a new building that we're in today. I've had a lot of fun at the fair stand. It's a lot of work, good memories. You just worked hard for a week, and then you were done for the year, and whatever money we made is what we gave away. But we're now sponsoring the rat race, which is at the Cheese Festival. The rat race has been very, very good for us. Easter egg hunt is always fun. It is just, it's hilarious. The other fun one is the Halloween Festival, and that started many years ago. And we set up booths for kids to have different kind of games. We help with Breakfast with Santa. The Chamber of Commerce sponsors it, but we help. And you know, one thing that we've done for many years, the nursing home has a birthday party, and at the last Friday of the month, and we have always taken cakes out there for that birthday party. We have been a part of the community since the early 1900s, and you meet people that you would never meet. It's a good way to meet new people in town and get them involved, and that's what's happened to me.
In the 14 years that I've lived in Arthur, I've really enjoyed it. I've told a number of people if I should be so fortunate as to get to grow old and die here, there are certainly worse things to happen. I love the community, and seeing other ministers come and go, it's been fun. As each one comes in, they all seem to still fit in with our group and be very complimentary to what we're doing as a community. There are 11 churches in a town of 2,300, which most would think is pretty close to the saturation point, but a lot of our churches have been around for a long time, since the 1880s and the 1890s, although some are, of course, more recent. One of the things we're blessed with is a functioning ministerial association. There are 7 of the churches that participate in that, 5 actively, and then 2 additional churches who participate in community services. 5 of us are more than just vocational co-workers, we're friends too socially. Some of us play golf together, we get together and eat together. It's a fun time, and I think it adds to the community building in Arthur as well. When we come together to do events, it's not strange to be in another church, and it's not unusual to do things together. I've done a number of funerals for different churches when a pastor's been absent or been on vacation. People have covered for me in similar circumstances, and it's not unusual. We have a week of Christian unity, and at the end of that week, we do a pulpit exchange. And so there are 5 of us, we trade spots. And this past year I was in the Methodist church, and I think I knew virtually everybody in that congregation, or at least most of the people already. The things that we do as a ministerial association and as a community aren't just clergy-led. We have a lot of the lay people, the congregants, do a lot of the work and come up with a lot of the ideas and put things into action. We have a community-wide vacation Bible school that is kind of unusual in that the whole community comes together to do it at one of the churches, and we have more than 250 kids participate in that on a yearly basis, and they've got a committee that takes care of everything, and it's very well done. The ministers have a role, whether it's a mission moment or leading prayer or sharing stories from the scripture. But it's been amazing to see that grow in the time that I've been here, from 60, 70 kids to 250 kids, which has to be practically every kid in the community. I'm sure it's not, but it's got to be close to that. And so that's a lot of fun to be a part of and to see that happening as well. At the heart of every community are the churches and the schools, and we like to do what we can to help bring people together and to not think of themselves as individual congregations, but truly as a community, reaching out to each other to try and do God's work in very practical ways. And that can obviously play itself out in any number of ways, from the Wednesday night meal program to raising money for missions to Vacation Bible School, and just trying to work to make Arthur a better place to live.
My parents relocated to Arthur when I was in the 8th grade. And it was a community that instantly welcomed my twin brother and I into the community. And living in other towns and attending other schools in the past, Arthur was different. And I think from an early age, I realized that this is a community that I'm going to call home. Arthur's a town that's rich in industry and culture. The people of Arthur are a loving bunch. We lift each other up when we're hurt or sick. We have benefits, or maybe it's just a kind gesture, but we do for one another. But it really is a unique community, and the Amish are a great group. They do so much for our community, and the Amish are salt of the earth, good people. They have work ethic, integrity. They embody everything that you really want to see in someone, and they make you want to be a better person, and they're great for our community. The Amish also drive another industry that's very unique to Arthur, and that's tourism. Last year we had over 500,000 visitors to Arthur to visit the Amish. And our Welcome Center in downtown Arthur was host to someone from every state and over 52 different countries. But we're more than just an Amish community. Arthur is deep-rooted in heritage, culture. We have major industry, major manufacturing in Arthur. We've got some of the businesses that have started in Arthur are now nationally known, now owned by Master Brand, as one of the largest cabinet manufacturer in the world. And one of their plants right there in Arthur that employs 760 people. Keep their factories, and they keep them in Arthur because of our people, our hardworking, dependable people. And along with Schrock's, we also had CHI. They started their overhead door manufacturing facility in Arthur, and it continues to grow. In addition to those two businesses, Easy Trail Manufacturing was started in 1964 by Abe Coons. And he manufactured wagons just on a simple idea that it could be made better. And today those wagons are shipped all over the U.S. You name it, we've got so much industry. It's said that Arthur, a town of 2,200 people, a little over 2,200, actually can swell to almost 7,000 during the day when people drive to Arthur to work. Things we've talked about just merely scratch the surface of what Arthur has to offer. It's truly a great community. I love being a part of it. I love watching my kids grow up here. It's amazing. I'm very proud to have served on the fire department for 22 years in this community. Very proud to have been on the village board for 15 years, and very proud to have served as their mayor for the last 6. And I look forward to Arthur continuing to grow and thrive and be the successful small town that it really is.
Several Midwestern communities in 1960s and 1970s were having their celebration of their centennial anniversaries, and Arthur was no exception. After months of preparation, the executive committee decided to have Centennial Week, August 19th through 25th in 1973. Now, we all wore our ties and our buttons proudly. The men started growing beards, and they were called Brothers of the Brush, and the women were called Centennial Belles. The kickoff to the Centennial was the Centennial Ball, and the ball was held in the fire station. And at the ball, the Centennial Queen was announced, and she was Mrs. Theo Russell. And she became queen by virtue of selling the most tickets to Arthur's Centennial play. On Sunday, it was called Religious Heritage Day, and the community held a picnic at Eberhart Park and evening services on the football field. On Wednesday, the grand opening of the newly built Tourist Information Center was held. Wednesday was the official day of the celebration, and Wednesday was also the first performance of Arthur Rama, 100 Years Revisited. Arthur Rama was a 4-night spectacular event, and this play had comedy and drama and suspense and action and music. And it had horses, and it had a cast of 250 characters. And they performed under the football lights on the football field at 8:30 p.m. from Wednesday to Friday during Centennial Week. Now, Thursday was Youth and Ladies Day. There was a Young People's Parade. There was a teen dance. There were garden tea parties, and there were style shows, and there were clowns downtown, and there was a downtown carnival. Saturday was the last big day. One of the main events on Saturday was described as the best and biggest parade Illinois residents have ever seen. And the second big event was the burying of the time capsule at the new Tourist Information Center, to be opened in the year 2023. Now, after all was done, there was excess money left, and that money was donated to the Arthur Library Building Fund, and 20 years later, that money helped stimulate the construction of a new library in Arthur. You know, in 2023, we will be celebrating our sesquicentennial, and we will remember our past, and we will be eager to embrace the future. And when we open that time capsule in 2023, we will see what those before us had left for us. And then we will also leave behind our ideas and our hopes and our aspirations for future Arthurites.
Hey, hey, hey! We're back with you.
Back in the house.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear.
This place is hopping now. I'm telling you what, we got the pigs in here. We got all kinds of animals. Sow, you know, a female hog is a sow.
That's what you learned that tonight.
I just learned that.
Yeah.
It was great. Okay, let's get serious for a moment.
Okay.
We got some thank yous. Lyle from Sullivan worked with a lot of the Arthur folks over the years. Thank you, Lyle. Gary from Arthur and Irvin from Arthur. Thank you so much. Oh, Dick and Barb, we don't want to forget you. Thank you so much.
And I've got some thank yous as well. Barbara Sue from Arthur, Beth from Arthur, Tanya from Strasburg, and
Wow.
Scott from Middleton, Wisconsin.
Wow, thank you. Now, we've heard from some people that are watching us online.
Yes.
So if you know somebody out of state and you know that they have a computer and working internet, give them a call and tell them to tune in to weiu.net and click on streaming.
Absolutely. And one of the people who called in earlier that was watching online was Tanya's sister, so we want to
Tanya.
thank her.
We are excited to be here. We have 8 people on the phone. And
They're not on the phone.
They're not on the phone because
We need
nobody's
them to be
calling.
on the phone.
So right now, let's get on the ball. Let's get people calling. Right now, the phone number's at the bottom of your screen. And we have had over...
We had 49 people call
49.
in so far. We're halfway there to meeting our goal tonight of people calling in, and we're also halfway through the program, so we're half and half.
Perfect. We're half and half. And you know, we've heard people say from Arthur, we are going to meet our goal tonight. So if you're one of those people from Arthur and you love helping others meet their goals, the softball team, you know, they're going on to regionals. They won regionals?
They won
Sectionals,
big
thank you.
tonight.
They
is
won
all we
big.
know. They won
They
big,
won
and
big.
they're keep on keeping on.
That just proves to us that we've got some fighters in Arthur, and we want you to call tonight because we want you to support your hometown.
We had some really awesome stories this last segment in the Growing Up Amish with Jerry Coons. You got to interview him.
Sweet man.
You want to talk about him a little bit?
You know what? He was just a little bit nervous about being a storyteller, and I asked him if he would do it, and he hesitated, but you know, he's like, you know what? I'll do it. He had a great story to tell, and I loved that, you know, he talked about his wife, and that touched my heart deeply.
A lot of these stories touched our hearts deeply, and
oh, can we talk about the 200 acres?
yeah,
Matt Condell?
yeah.
I learned a lot about squash and
Cucurbits.
cucurbits.
I'll never
Great
get that word out of my mind.
Cucurbits. When I was interviewing him, I had the pleasure of interviewing him. I learned so much. It made me want to go get cucurbits, and I went on how to cook with them, and it was a really great story. You want to go on to this one?
Women's Club.
Iris.
Arthur. Iris is sitting right over there, and She's waving to us, and
she did a
she's
great
such
job.
She's such a neat lady, and to be a part of a women's club and to express all of the different stories about that and all the different things that they provide for their community. And once again, taking care of the community is what they do.
Absolutely.
So
Being at
thank
the
you so much
fair.
for supporting us, Iris.
Absolutely. That Acts of Faith, that was a good one.
Yes, and Christy had to walk out into the hall on that when she goes, I can't listen to this, it'll make me cry.
Aww.
I said, I know, it did me again, once again, and I had the pleasure of interviewing John. So pleasure to meet you, John, and hear your story, and proud to share it.
And then the next one was Arthur is a Great Place to Live.
Matt, right back here.
Which was our former mayor, and then the newest mayor.
Is right over here, and he talked about Milestone celebrations, and I had the pleasure of talking with you during that day as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I have a question for you. Let me get this over here.
Sure.
I want to know what makes Arthur great.
Well, we've talked about it all evening long. What makes Arthur great are the people, past and present. You know, that's why we talk about our history. That's why we talk about what we're doing now. And what we're doing now, you have several of the officials from this community. Christy's on the phone right now, and she's our tourism director. And then, like they said, Matt was the former mayor, and he's serving as a trustee now. And Terry Clark was a former trustee, and he's still active in the community. And then Paul Pierce is a trustee. So we have some official representation tonight, and we do challenge our citizens to come on board and get us our 100 plus sales of DVDs tonight, callers. We want plenty of them.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us this
Sure.
evening. And thank you so much to all the officials and the city folks being here with us this evening. Great support from Arthur. Couldn't be more proud of Arthur. And all you have to do is tell them thank you when you call tonight. The number's at the bottom of your screen. Jana, back to you.
Thank you, Keanne. Right now, there's no one on the phone, I believe. Well, one. We have 7 people waiting to get your call right now. Give them a call. And we have royalty in the house tonight, I'm telling you. We have Miss Moultrie Douglas Fair, 1971. Can we get the camera on this young woman right here? Look at that. We are so happy that she's here tonight, and we had to just talk about her. There's nothing better than a county fair queen.
Yeah.
1971.
Awesome.
She doesn't look old enough. She looks like she could have just been the queen a couple years ago.
She had the wave down too.
I bet she did. I bet she did. If you love going to the fair, which everybody in Arthur.
We have the fair president in the house tonight too.
Oh, she's doing her wave. She's doing her wave. Isn't she beautiful?
She is.
If you know her, you better be calling tonight. And you want to talk to her on the phone, you just give her a call. Tonight, we don't want to go, we want to be sure you know that we loved doing this program on Arthur. WEIU is a partial PBS station. We love community, and we love that we could put on a program like this, but we could not have done a program on Arthur without the underwriters and without that 28 storytellers that a lot of them are here tonight. So call tonight and support them. Let them know that a program on Arthur is important, but it takes you calling to keep that support going for programs like this.
And the support comes from the people. And during the last break, I talked to Dwayne Hopkins, who told the story about the fire district, and he said, you know what, it's all about the people up there, and that's just what Rod talked about too. And he said it's a very special place to live. He's lived there all of his life, and the people take care of one another, and it's contagious. They just nurture that. And he said it would be just a shame if they ever lost it, because they didn't think they could ever get it back. And you know, it got me thinking, wouldn't it be awesome for people hearing all about this tonight to be able to spread this across the nation, across the world, and have Arthur be a part of that and just bring the good out?
Woo! Well, and that's the great thing about these communities. You know, this is a wonderful program, but other people are going to watch it and say, wow, I want our community to do some of those things that Arthur's doing. Arthur, in their eyes, Arthur's got it. They've got the people, they've got, oh, we're watching right now. Welcome to Arthur. You're only a stranger once. And we experienced that personally when we first went there. Let me give a couple thank yous real quick to Brian from Arthur, Anna from Arthur, Dwayne and Connie from Arthur, and Lyle from Atwood. Thank you so very much.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. It gets fun in here when people actually call and say, you know what, this program's important to me. It's on my hometown, and I want a copy of that program on my hometown. What a great community that we've been involved in, and we love these people. And it's not just a job, it's something that we are passionate about, and we're passionate about keeping people knowing where Arthur is, what people are like in Arthur, and what makes Arthur a special place to call home.
It's all about showing the love tonight, and Jennifer from Arthur and Diane from Arthur, thank you so much. We're up to 55.
Woohoo, come on. We're edging a little bit to the 100, so right now we're at 55?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's get to 65, okay? So who's going to be the next one? All these gentlemen sitting behind us are not on the phone. Come on, you know these men. You got a past mayor and a current mayor.
Yes.
You've got their board.
They're working hard for your town tonight.
You've got Anna over here. You've got a beauty queen. She's sitting here. We've got the pumpkin house man.
Listen up. We've got 3 beauty queens right over
Yeah,
here,
there
and
you
one
go.
lucky man.
Yeah, one lucky man. And he did the story on the pumpkin house, and
Yes,
what a
he
great
did.
story. And that's
I want to
something.
go see that. And
You know, we talked about.
losing track here. Did we already see that, or is it coming up?
Did we already see it? It's coming up. You know what was interesting when we saw
It's
his
coming up.
story?
Don't give it away.
I won't
because
give
it's
it away.
it's
But
coming
this
up.
is one of those stories that in your town you could do something like this. You could follow in his footsteps.
Yes.
And once you hear the story, you'll find out where he heard it from. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
The
another
idea.
thing that I think that we're learning about Arthur is all the good that they're doing, and once again spreading it
Sure.
and sharing and learn from this and figure out how you can do what they're doing in the communities that you live in, because I'm hoping that some of this will trickle down into the communities that we live in too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tonight, right now, we love this program. We know that you love it because you've been calling all night, but the phones are quiet. It's time right now. Who's going to be the next one to call? We need to get the phones going again. If we're going to get up to our goal, which we know we can make, the people already said here that are here tonight, Arthur can get up to that $100 or $100, 100 callers. So right now, callers, we need you to call right now. If you have enjoyed even one of the stories tonight, we need you to call. We're showing a phone with nobody. It's not ringing. We need somebody to get that phone going.
We have a couple more thank yous. Ann from Arthur and Matt and Melissa from Arthur. We're at 57 now. We're edging up a couple at a time. Get those phones ringing. We have yet to have a phone blitz tonight. That's when every single phone is busy. It's fun. You get us hopping. We're halfway through the program. We're halfway to meeting our goals tonight. We've got 2 people back here saying, call me.
Call me, yeah,
If you know Anna Hirschberger, you call her right now.
Yeah, if you know her and you've eaten one of her pies, or rolls or cookies.
What do we have here?
Give
We've
her a
got
call.
note. What's this say?
Oh. Okay, we got to read this.
I need to read this?
Don't read it. That means we're going to read it.
Oh, well, we'll save that.
Yeah, we'll save it
we'll
for a little
save
bit.
that.
Yeah, it includes dancing.
It does.
Yeah, it includes
does.
dancing.
On live TV.
Yeah.
By
And
a city official.
that could be fun.
Yeah, it could be fun. We'll do it too.
Now, we said earlier that if you're watching this program and you know, there's holidays coming up. Father's Day is just around the corner. Maybe there's a special man in your life who you never know what to get for that special day of the year that is all about fathers. This would be a great opportunity to call tonight. And if you want to get one, give these men a call. Look at them right there. There's only one on the phone. 3 are waiting. And you got these ladies over here who want to talk to you as well. The phone number's at the bottom of your screen.
Lots of special men in the house tonight. Looking across the studio, we have Noel Dix, Lyle Dorjan, Mark Jones, Kent Stock, Dwayne Hopkins. Pat Goodwin's here with us this evening, Bruce Wood, Matt Bernius, Terry Clark, Paul Pierce, and Rod Randall.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the men in here, plus all the other ones that are in the other room.
Right. Woo!
Thank you so much for supporting Arthur. This is our story tonight.
It's so great to hear how many people in Arthur support each other, whether it's in the women's club or whether it's the fair or whether it's a project they want to be special in Arthur. People step up in Arthur and help each other. And to me, that just brings tears to my eyes because every person would love to be in a community like Arthur.
Yes, they would, and we're proud to be a part of it tonight. And when you're calling in and supporting them, you're a part of it as well because you're no longer a stranger, you're a friend of theirs. So join us tonight. Call the number at the bottom of your screen right now. You can also go online if you want to. And be sure to be able to share that story anytime that you want to in the convenience of your living room, bedroom. If you have a TV in there and just want to kick back on the bed and watch TV, it's a great story. It will make you feel good about your town.
Well, we're halfway through right now, and we've said before, if you're watching and you're enjoying it, get on the phone and call your friends and tell them to tune into WEIU TV or go online to WEIU.net. There's something going on great here at WEIU, and it is Arthur, This Is Our Story.
And we have a few more stories coming up. Arthur Once Upon a Time, told by the historian Noel Dix.
Yeah,
Mennonite Relief Sale, you'll want to hear about that. Penn Station, Delbert's Clothing. Be sure to stay tuned because we talked about the giggle at the end of that story. You'll be able to hear that. The library and the Arthur Pumpkin House. Arthur, This Is Our Story. Stay tuned.
Give us a call.